Welcome to Mr. Math Academy. Grow your math brain.
Hello friends, welcome back to Mr. Math Academy. So in this video we go for the problem number 2 on static stresses. In the last video we have done the problem which is based on the static stresses when the axial load of 15 kilonewton and the twisting moment has given. Now in this problem, along with the axial load and the twisting moment, we are having one more load, that is the bending load, and the dimensions is same, 50 mm is the diameter and the length is 250 mm. Now for this problem we need to find out what will be the nature and the magnitude of the stresses at the critical points. Now we can see here the point A and B, these two are the critical points here. At this point I need to find out what will be the nature and the magnitude of the stresses due to this load, different loads here like axial load, bending and the twisting moment here. Okay. Now we will go for the what is the axial stress due to the axial load, means what? So because of this 15 kilonewton axial load, I can have a axial stress in the member, that is what, when it is subjected to a load here 15 kilonewton, the entire member will elongate here. So meanwhile, because of the elongation we can see there will be a axial stress in the member. So that I can take it as sigma A, that is given by, it's a force by area. So we know that the area is nothing but what, it's a pi d square by 4. So we have to take the cross sectional area. Now the force is given, it's a 15 kilonewton, I will take in terms of Newton. So it becomes 15 into 10 power 3. So the diameter is given 50, I will take 5 into 50 square by 4. So now we will just simplify this. So the value we are getting as a 7.64 Newton per mm square. So this is our the direct stress, or we can take it as an axial stress for the member due to the applied load 15 kilonewton. Now again we can see there is a bending load here, it is a 3 kilonewton. Now because of this 3 kilonewton here, that is a bending stress, bending load, we can have a bending stress in the member. Now again this 7.64 kilonewton will be in a tensile at both point A and point B, because elongates takes place in both the at points A and B also. So means what, we can see a direct stress or axial stress in both at point A and point B, it will be a tensile in nature. Now we will go for the bending stress. So the bending stress, so this is bending stress, it is due to the bending load. The bending stress we will try to find out, that will be a bending stress due to a bending load of 3 kilonewton which is acting transverse in the member. So which is given by, so sigma B is equal to, it's mb by I into C here. So this is what our the bending stress formula. So by using this I will try to find out what is our bending stress. Now we will calculate what is our bending stress here when the transverse load of 3 kilonewton is acting. So mb is nothing but bending moment, which is force into perpendicular distance, that is 3 kilonewton into 250 here. I will take 3 into 10 power 3 because I am taking in terms of Newton, and distance is our 250 mm. So this is our bending moment, and I is nothing but, we know that it is a moment of inertia, that is a pi d power 4 by 64. I will take pi into 50 to the power 4 by 64, that will be the moment of inertia, and C is nothing but, it is a half of the diameter. So which is nothing but distance from the neutral axis to the extreme fiber, so which is given by 50 by 2 here. Now the bending stress what I am getting here is, it is a 61.115 Newton per mm square. Now we can just see from the figure, so since this member try to bend like this, in this way, because of the transverse load of 3 kilonewton, the point B tends to a compress here, but the point A, the layer on this top layer of the member will try to elongate here. Therefore I will try to mention, so what are the nature at different points here. So means what, tensile at A but compress at B, compressive in nature at B, because when we are calculating the maximum principal stress and the minimum principal stress, we require this condition there. So that is why we will try to remember this point here by looking at the problem, because this layer is subjected to the tensile and the bottom part of this member will be subjected to a somewhat compress here. So we will try to remember this point here. Now this is our axial stress and the bending stress. Now because of the twisting moment what he has given 1 kilonewton meter, so we will try to find out what is our shear stress here. Shear stress due to twisting moment which is given. So he has given a twisting moment of 1 kilonewton meter. We know that by using some torsion equation, so we know that tau is equal to mt by j into r. So that is our tau here, that is a normal stress here, normal shear stress. Now mt is nothing but twisting moment, he has given it is a 1 kilonewton meter. I will take in terms of the Newton mm, so it becomes 1 into 10 power 6, and j is nothing but it is a polar moment of inertia which is given by pi into d to the power 4 by 32. I will take pi into 50 to the power 4 by 32, and r is nothing but our radius, that is a 50 by 2. So now we just simplify this, so that we are getting a shear stress of 40.74 Newton per mm square. Now we will try to remember these stresses here: axial stress, bending stress and the shear stress. So this axial stress is tensile, this axial stress will be a tensile in nature, this axial stress will be a tensile at both A and B. Now this normal stress at A, because we are considering now the point at point A, so the normal stress at A becomes, it is I will take in terms of sigma here, so which is given by sigma A plus sigma B. So because we have to take here the positive, because the top layer of the member will be subjected to a tensile and axial will be a tensile in nature itself. So this is our normal stress sigma. Now I will try to substitute the values here. Our sigma axial will be a 7.64 and the bending stress is 61.115 Newton per mm square. So this becomes the axial normal stress becomes, it is a 68.75 Newton per mm square. So this is our normal stress. Now we will just take one more, that is the shear stress, I will just mention here. So which is 40.74 Newton per mm square. So with these two, sigma and the tau, we have to use it in the maximum principal stress calculation here. We know that the maximum principal stress, or we can take it as a sigma 1, which is given by, it's a sigma 1 sigma by 2 plus square root of sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square. So this is our formula to calculate the normal maximum principal stress here. Now sigma 1 becomes, sigma is nothing but our normal stress what we have taken here, so which is 68.75 by 2 plus square root of 68.75 by 2 whole square plus tau square is our 40.74 with square. Now this is the maximum principal stress. Now we just simplify this, we are getting the value as sigma 1 is equal to, it's a 87.68 Newton per mm square. So this is our maximum stress at point A, and it is tensile in nature. This will be a tensile in nature at point A. Now we try to calculate what is our minimum principal stress. Now we will calculate what will be the minimum stress, like minimum principal stress, that is a sigma 2, which is given by sigma 2 minus square root of sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square. Only thing is what, instead of plus here we have to take the minus for the minimum stress. Now we will just substitute the values here. The sigma 2 is equal to, sigma is our 68.75 by 2 minus square root of, again it is a 68.75 by 2 whole square plus 40.74 whole square. Now we will just simplify this before that we can get a minimum principal stress. So which is given by the minus 18.93. So we are getting the minus 18.93 Newton per mm square. So this is our the minimum principal stress at point A. Now we can just see we are having a minus sign over here. So which means what, this will be a compressive in nature. At point A we can just see there may be some sort of compress will be takes place in some layers. Now this is maximum and this will be the minimum stress, so that again we can find out the what will be the maximum shear stress in the member. So tau maximum is given by, it's a whatever we are having a square root, so that itself the terms which are there in the square root, that itself is our maximum shear stress. So we can have a square root of sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square. This is our the formula to calculate the maximum shear stress. Now just substitute the values here. So again it is 68.75 by 2 whole square plus 40.74 with square. So we just simplify this so that we can get a maximum shear stress as our 53.31 Newton per mm square. Now we have got the different loads, like different stresses at critical point A. Now at the critical point A we are having the maximum principal stress as 87.68 Newton per mm square. At point B again we are having a minus 18.93, means what, it will be a compressive in nature. Again the maximum shear stress will be 53.31 Newton per mm square. Now we will consider the point B here, that is a critical point B. So the normal stress at B is given by, it's a sigma is equal to sigma A axial minus sigma bending. So I have taken the minus here because at critical point B, when we see the problem, when we see the figure, at point B there will be a compression will be takes place because of the bending. That's why we have taken the minus sign over here. Now sigma axial, that is the axial stress, is 7.64 minus sigma B is our 61.115. So that I am getting the value is around minus 53.47 Newton per mm square. That will be a normal stress. Now the shear stress will be remain same, there is no change in that. So that is shear stress is what, it will be a tau is equal to, it's a 40.74 Newton per mm square. Now these two values now we have to apply to calculate the maximum shear stress, maximum principal and a minimum principal stresses. So maximum stress is given by, it says sigma by 2 plus we have to take here sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square. Now this sigma is nothing but it's a normal stress, what we have calculated here, it's a minus 53.47 by 2 plus minus 53.47 by 2 whole square, and tau is our 40.74 with square. So we just simplify this so that we can get sigma max is equal to, so it will be a sigma 1 is also same. So the value what I am getting here is, it's a 21.966 or 21.996, it's a Newton per mm square. So here we can just see we are getting a positive sign here. So which means what, it's a it will be a tensile in nature. The maximum stress at critical point B, we can have some tensile in nature. I'll try to mention that concept also, that is a tensile in nature because of the positive here. Now similarly I'll try to find out the minimum principal stress, that is sigma 2 is equal to, the formula remains same, only thing is what, instead of plus we have to take the minus. So this is same, sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square. Now we just try to simplify the values. So minus 53.47 will be the sigma. So minus square root of this sigma is again minus 53.47 by 2 with square. So tau is our 40.74 with square. Now we try to simplify this so that the minimum stress what I am getting here is, it's a minus 75.47 Newton per mm square. So this is what the value what I am getting for a minimum principal stress at the critical point B. So we'll just move on to the what will be the shear stress. So tau maximum is same. So whatever we are taking the square root, that itself is a maximum shear stress, which is given by sigma by 2 whole square plus tau square. Now we just simplify the values. So sigma is our same minus 53.47. Now we just simplify the values over here. The sigma is minus 53.47 by 2 whole square plus tau is our 40.74 with square. So the tau maximum becomes our 48.73 Newton per mm square. So now these are the values what we are getting for the case A and case B. I hope you have understood this problem. If you like this video, please comment, share with your friends and subscribe to our channel.